Learn piano keys instantly. Play your first piano piece in a few minutes. Hello and welcome. I'm Svetlana from Global Piano Academy. In this free trial lesson, I will teach you how to memorize piano keys instantly. For this lesson, you don't even need a piano in front of you. You can celebrate your success even before you buy an instrument or start a piano course. Test first, decide later. However, if after this lesson you decide to buy a piano, my article, What Piano Should I Buy?, can be very helpful. I show there how to choose a good and truly affordable instrument perfect for beginner adults. At the end of this lesson, so approximately in 15 minutes, you will be able to play your very first melody. What song is it? For now, it is a secret. Curious and eager to start? We will begin in a minute. But before, I would like to show you the traditional way many students learn piano keys. Just for comparison, so you can understand what method do you prefer. And in fact, you can see the names of piano keys are simple since they use the letters of the alphabet. However, it is not practical to rely on the alphabetical order as music rarely follows this sequence. We have to find the key very quickly and reliably. This means that you need to recognize each key independently without counting through the alphabet from the beginning. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But what happens from my experience that many students, even after years of practice, still count from A to T. If they started to count from the beginning, they keep counting even after years. But it is so easy to learn keys independently. Take my word. You will learn to recognize every key independently in just a few minutes, even if you do not have piano in front of you. Best way to memorize the keys on the piano is to build associations. Our human memory remembers stories the best. Not dry theory, but stories. This is why we are inventing and telling stories throughout our musical journey. Music is not just producing sounds, it is a storytelling in sounds. And creating a musical story makes learning both faster and more enjoyable. So let's begin. If you look at the keyboard, you see white keys and black keys. In total, in classical piano, we have 88 keys. In music, we have high notes and low notes. On the piano, the right side of the piano plays higher notes, like soprano voices, and the left side plays lower notes, like bass voices. Even so, the keyboard itself is flat. What else can we see? You can see that black keys build groups of 2 keys and 3 keys. Then again, 2 keys and so on. This is a pattern. In music, we work a lot with patterns. And the better you can recognize these patterns, the more efficient and fun will be your learning process. Let us start with our story. Imagine that the group of 3 keys is a castle, a big castle, and the group of 2 keys is a small castle. Can you imagine this? I taught both children and adults up to 67 years old, and I can tell you, this little story is so helpful that everyone loves it. So, who lives in the big castle, usually? Some people say that it is a princess, Other people say it is a king. Actually, both. But we start here with a princess. As we know that the princess is a girl, her letter is G. She lives inside of the castle, protected and happy, right in the middle here in her lady's chamber. Her letter is G. Who else lives in the big castle? We said it already, the king, right? And what is the job of the king? Some people say to give orders. But if we're honest, so we have to recognize that he should oversee and protect his kingdom, isn't it? He is responsible for peace in his country and has to sit on the highest position to be able to see clearly over it. So even in our story, he takes the highest place in the big castle. Here. He is a boy, so his letter is B. So now we have the girl princess and the boy the king. What else do we have in our castle? Of course, the garden, an apple tree garden with delicious apples, because the princess likes apples, letter A. And of course, next to our princess lives her best friend. Who can it be? Since our princess is not a real princess but fairy tale princess, her best friend is a froggy, letter F. So now you truly know all residents of the big castle. Let us check once again. Who is this? Big castle on top of the castle overseeing the whole country. Of course, it is a king whose letter is B. In the middle of the castle, in the ladies' chamber, lives a princess and her letter is G. The best friend of the princess lives next to her on the lowest position, and this is a frog, letter F. And between girl and boy, there is a garden, an apple tree garden with the letter A. Very well done. Now, next to the big castle in our fairy tale is located a pretty small castle. And because it is not a real but fairy tale castle, its residents are animals. On the left side of the castle lives a cat. How shall we call it? Katy the cat? My cat's name is Rachmaninov. That was a composer and pianist in the 19th and 20th centuries. Then in the middle, between two black keys, lives a dog. And this dog looks very similar to my dog Giulietta, who is a golden doodle. So Giulietta dog likes it cozy and prefers to be in the middle of the castle, right between two black keys. And on the right side of the castle, we have the elephant living. So he is a baby, he is already bigger than others. So he is taking the highest place in the castle, right here. Let us check how you remember them. Who is this? The highest place in the castle takes an elephant, and his letter is E. Who is this? Underneath of the castle lives a cat. Katie the cat or Rachmaninoff the cat. And cozy between two black keys lives Julieta the dog. Test yourself. Who is this? 3 black keys, a big castle. On the top of the big castle lives a king, whose letter is B. Let's see here, another big castle and another king, and again it is B. The distance from B to B, C to C, D to D is called octave. This is a very important terminology. Who is this? The neighbor. 2 black keys, small castle, left side. Here lives a cat. And we have another cat. Small castle, left side, cat. Here, between girl and boy, we have an apple tree garden. Letter A. Octave again. Oh, here is cozy. Between 2 black keys lives dog Julieta, remember? Do we find another one? Let's see. 2 black keys, here dog Julieta, letter D. So, who is that? Big castle next to the princess lives her best friend, who is a froggy. Do we find another froggy here? Another big castle, 3 keys. Do we find another froggy? Yes, here is it. Who is living on top of the small castle? 2 black keys, small castle. On top of it sits an elephant. So he is the baby elephant. He is bigger than others. So this is his place. And of course we have another one on top of the other small castle. And last but not least, here in the middle of the big castle in the lady's chamber lives our princess. And of course, we can see another big castle, and even there lives another beautiful princess. Here is she. Here, I would like to ask you to pause this video and take your time to find all 7 notes in all octaves on the piano. You can use your piano in front of you or piano on screen. Take your time. Let us start to play your very first melody and try to recognize it. I have written underneath of the keyboard 2 lines of letters. Those are 2 sentences of the song. We start with letter E. Where is letter E and who is representing it? An elephant. Where does elephant live? In the small castle. 2 black keys on top of it. Let's find it. E. Now let us find letter D. D. And now C. C. And back to D. E. And now 3 times E. 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 Now 3 times D. 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 E. G. G. Now second sentence. E again. E. D. C. D. And 3 times E. 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 C. D. D. E. D. C. Did you recognize the song? Mary Had a Little Lamb. Yay! This is the very first melody that many pianists start with. Bravo if you recognized it, and also bravo if you discovered it for the first time. I am not an English speaker, though 10 years ago I started to learn English, and approximately at the same time I discovered the song. So now you have already played your very first melody. I am so proud of you. Let's play together one more time.
E, D, C, D, E, 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 D, 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 E, G, G, E, D, C, D, E, 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 C, D, D, E, D, C. Maybe once again. E, D, C, D, E, 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 D, 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 E, G, G, E, D, C, D, E, 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 C, D, D, E, D, C. Maybe faster. E, D, C, D, E, 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 D, 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 E, G, G, E, D, C, D, E, 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 C, D, D, E, D, C.
And I would like to finish our lesson with a quote. It may seem simple now, but every note you learn is a step toward music that will one day move hearts, including your own. This is not my quote. The author is unknown. I couldn't find who originally said it, but I really like it. From me, I would only add especially your own. If you start playing the piano, you are doing something important for yourself first of all. Yes, we want to make our audience happy, but trust me, if you are happy and enjoy your performance, your audience will be happy too. This was the free trial lesson of our course, Inspirational Piano for Beginner Adults. Inspirational because my approach is based on emotional storytelling. And as a professional classical piano teacher with more than 35 years of experience, I am also deeply dedicated to the traditions of the classical piano school. In this course, you will receive the solid foundation that is enough to prepare for ABRSM Grade 1 and even more. Besides piano, I also studied psychology, and I use it widely in my teaching to explain processes such as human memory, motivation, relaxation, and many others. Part of the course includes guided meditation for pianists, which you can use to reduce your stage fright, for example. But my greatest pride is, of course, you, my students. Together, we build an online community with one simple goal. No one should feel alone while learning the piano. Pianists are often shy people, but here, in a safe and friendly environment, you can share your thoughts, give and receive help, and perhaps even find friends for life. Today, you already took your first step. You learned how to recognize piano keys, and you even played your first melody. This is how a great musical journey can begin. If you feel inspired to continue your musical journey, click the link below and join us. You are warmly